What's up everyone? How is everyone doing today? Welcome to another video here on the JPlay channel. Today I want to be going over 9 banjo techniques that I've not discovered but been implementing the past couple of months that I haven't gone over in any of my guides thus far. These are ones that either I've discovered, others have discovered and been using, or I didn't even know about, and I've just been starting to implement them as I can. Just a reminder that I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/jplaytriple_. I stream there Monday, Thursday, Saturday. I hope to see you there. We stream lots of Smash variety content. You can ask me any questions. And just a reminder that if you do like this video, make sure to drop a like and comment down below about which technique you are going to implement. Let's try to reach 100 likes on this video. All right, let's hop right into this. In my previous videos, I talked about ways to pick up and use grenade in neutral. And the ways I talked about were using Z-grabs in the air, or using falling up air, or running Z-grabs in neutral. I discovered recently that back air cancels in the first couple of frames, allowing you to pick up the grenade and continue your forward momentum. Let me show you. This is super good because you get to keep your forward momentum while having to stall or stop shifting your stick in the direction you'd like to move to use proper Z-grabs instead of accidentally directional air dodging in the air. This is really good because you can have setups where you release a grenade, catch it in neutral, and immediately move forward to start combos against your opponent. This can also be used for super effective ledge trapping and edge guarding. Binman will be on stage as I show this, just because trying to get a training mode dummy to stay off stage or get on ledge can be kind of challenging, but the principles still apply. With Banjo's new buffed back air, ledge trumping is a super viable technique for ledge trapping and edge guarding. It honestly is a really good mix-up. Shouldn't be used every time, obviously, because you don't want to get predictable, but it is really good for taking early stocks, just because it's such a good option now with the new angle it sends at. Getting consistent ledge trumping can be difficult, but someone in one of my streams actually mentioned this to me, and I've been testing it, and it's worked out really well in bracket. You can actually run off and beer versus grenade towards stage, and the animation will cancel and no grenade will come out and you'll instantly snap to ledge. Another really good option for ledge trumping is something that I saw on Twitter actually. It was actually used by Charms in a Twitter clip. I think others have used it, but I just thought this is really cool and it's a very optimal way to get your opponent off ledge. So when your opponent goes off stage, you can actually time it pretty well to get a Z-grab grenade and land to clap ledge and ledge trump them. And then once they're in the air right there with timing with the grenade, it will explode and you can follow up with an option. This is really good as a mix-up. You just have to make sure you time the grenade correctly when their invincibility is worn off and they're vulnerable, so that you can get the hard punish afterwards. Throwing grenades at opponents above you is really effective, but sometimes it takes really precise aim to hit faster opponents that have really good air speeds. So you gotta find ways to mix it up. One way is ground bouncing grenades instead of throwing them directly up. This is especially good for people on platforms, because you're able to mix up quickly afterwards. This is really good for mixing up your opponent when they're trying to land or when they're just moving in neutral in general. There is also this super cheeky combo, which everyone will say is not practical and will never happen in bracket, but you could sometimes try it against opponents that like to shield. I actually hit it in bracket last week. Banjo's jumps don't go super high vertically and can sometimes be difficult to contest with your opponents that have a high jump or high airspeed. So you can use instant double jump to try to contest with these opponents. Using simply Y and then the hotkey for the short hop attack, well, that can be difficult. If you have a trigger, left or right, set to jump, it's much easier if you use a trigger followed up by the hotkey of Y or X plus A. And to do that, you do the trigger, and then you'll have to get the correct timing to make sure the attack comes out and you're hitting at the peak of their jump. So you do jump, and then immediately the hotkey for the short hop aerial. And it'll take some time getting used to the timing, as it is a little different. But this is so much more instant, and you're able to space a little bit better trying to do double jump Y really quickly. Next, I want to talk about forward air, and you might be thinking this guy has no idea what he's talking about. Well, I just want to talk about some principles of forward air. Forward air, perfectly spaced, is safe on shield. It is -6 on shield. What that means for those that don't know frame data super well is that your opponent must have a frame 6 option or faster to be able to punish Banjo for landing on their shield with forward air. Forward air is super good and hits hard. I had no idea how safe it was until I actually started labbing it, looking more into it. As you can see here, slowed down, this move, it's super far and also has a giant hitbox. And when it sweet spots, it deals 18% damage. Also, when talking about forward air, I mentioned this in another video, but backflipping forward air with Banjo out of shield and in neutral in general is kind of broken, considering it sends your momentum backwards, allowing for you to properly space the forward air as best as possible. Due to the buff that was given to back air, I've paid a lot more attention to back air and how I can use it more effectively to take advantage of this buff. I realized that the hitbox is so large, it actually can outrange most sorties. This is really good for Banjo because it can stop them from approaching, and you can outrange them in the air. As you can see, Roy's forward air has a really long hitbox. Let's look at Banjo's back air. It's disjointed down, up, and to the middle, and it outranges Roy's forward air. So, Banjo's back air can be used really well to anti-air sorties and other characters with longer reaches. Obviously not Sephiroth, don't get crazy. But it can be really good to stuff out those aerial approaches now, whereas normally you stay grounded. And speaking of grounded, I covered this in another video as well, but Banjo needs good defensive options when he faces opponents that are faster than him. That's where dashback options come in. You can use Banjo's dashback options to dashback angled up forward tilt to catch aerial opponents out of the air. If they try to land on top, up tilt, which is now even stronger, and if it's at higher percents, it could even kill. So you can dash back, up tilt, dash back, angled up forward tilt, or even dash back, down tilt. And then if they even rush at you even more, grenades, and get creative. But really, your bread and butter for anti-airing on the ground is going to be dash back, angled up forward tilt, or to catch landings, dash back, down tilt. This is bread and butter, and really practice doing angled up forward tilt in training so that you can catch those faster opponents out of the air and make them stay back at the distance you would like them. Once again, going back to Banjo's back air, it has been buffed really well and is great as a defensive option. One way to fend off opponents that are faster on the ground and in the air is to use retreating back air. So by doing this, you dash one way, and while you are dashing, you use that trigger jump button and then the C stick in the opposite direction. Doing this allows you to do a retreating back air while keeping that momentum. And you can go high by pressing it and then doing it, or you can do the trigger and the back air at the same time to do a short hop. This is just a really good option when you're trying to outspace your opponent and create that distance that you need to set up your neutral game. Grenade roll-in is something that has actually existed for a while. Zachary was doing it in a VOD. One of the people I was coaching in our coaching session mentioned this, and I didn't even think about this as an option. It's just really smart, honestly. So I just want to go over it here. Grenade roll-in is super good to outlast the invincibility your opponent gains while coming down from an angel platform. It's super simple to perform. So all you do is as your opponent starts coming down from the angel platform, you're going to Z grab a grenade and go to ledge. Time it so that your invincibility of your roll will cover the explosion of the grenade, thus protecting you and causing damage to your opponent. And those are 9 techniques with Banjo to start implementing in your gameplay today. Like I said, these are things that you might know or you might not know. They're just very clever and very important things to improve your neutral and overall game as Banjo. These weren't included in any of my guides, so make sure to write these down, practice them, and use them in tournament matches. Appreciate everyone tuning into this video. I'll be back next week continuing that matchup chart. Make sure to drop a like. Let's reach 100 likes. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Till next time, guys.